Hey, what's going on, business owners? So in this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys why business credit is like a ladder, right? You need to be able to crawl before you guys can walk. So I'm gonna show you guys how to actually build out your business credit all the way from tier 1 all the way to tier 7. And I'm also gonna give you guys a secret sauce on knowing which lenders report to Equifax Business, Experian Business, Dun & Bradstreet, and also Small Business Financial Exchange. So in the previous videos of this series, we went ahead and talked about how to build out your EIN number, how to properly structure your business, and also how to be able to get the ball rolling with your business credit. So if you guys haven't watched that, definitely go ahead and watch those before we jump into this video. But without further ado, let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Your boy Albu. So I'm back with a banger today, man. And today I'm gonna give you guys the secret sauce on what people are not telling you guys about business credit, especially how you guys can build it up super fast and get the most amount of funding as much as possible. People charge tens of thousands of dollars for this information, and I'm giving it all to you guys for free. And all that I ask you guys, go ahead and subscribe and support the channel. Please get me to that 10K subscribers. Your boy's on the road to 10K, so let's get to it. All right, so you might be asking yourself, Abu, like, what's a tier system and why does this even matter, right? So how the tier system actually works with business credit, it's almost like personal credit. So with the tier system, right, you need to be able to understand that it's not a one size fits all. It's going ahead and start stacking different accounts in that are reporting to different business credit bureaus. So you'll need to be able to have a certain amount of accounts reporting Equifax, Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and these go ahead and start stacking on each other, right? So you need to be able to accomplish one tier before you guys can go to the next tier. And I'll explain exactly how to be able to go from tier 1 all the way to tier 7, which will be able to get you guys as much funding as possible. So with business credit, it's more about a strategic approach on how you guys actually build it out properly. So that's going to be the most important aspect of it. So let's go ahead and get into tier 1 right now. All right, so tier 1 is where the foundation actually starts, right? So with tier 1, it's the beginning stages. And so you need accounts that don't necessarily require you to have built up business credit in order to be able to get approved for them. Your prerequisites in order to be able to start establishing your tier 1 accounts are going to be your Secretary of State. You went ahead and followed them, got your articles, got everything situated. And you also got your EIN number, which I've talked about in the previous video of this series. And then the third thing is that you guys want to register with the 411 listing. So the 411 listing is like yellow pages for your business online, right? You just go ahead and list with that directory, and they're going to put your business and send it out to a bunch of different business vendors. And that way your business is a lot more established and has an online presence now. So what you're going to need to do first, right, is to go ahead and get net 30 accounts. These are accounts that don't necessarily require you to have much built up business credit history whatsoever. And they work, right, by sending you an invoice once you get sent that invoice after you make a purchase. So once you go ahead and submit an order, right, you have 30 days in order to pay off that invoice. And your business credit is going to be determined on how fast or how soon you actually go ahead and pay that invoice. So like I mentioned in the previous videos on the exact payment schedule, the earlier you pay off that invoice, the higher your business credit score will be. So of course, accounts go from net 30 to net 60, net 90. That comes with establishment of your business history. Now, Cool is another great one. They also offer a lot of office supplies, and they report both to Equifax Business and also Experian. And the last one is going to be Granger. So Granger has a bunch of industrial supplies, and so they actually do report to Experian. So what I highly recommend is that you guys go ahead and start registering with all of them. Go ahead and start submitting invoices. But one thing I'd be careful with, right, is to make sure you guys are actually ordering things that your business will need, because they are going to get shipped and you are paying for it. So you might as well go ahead and buy something that you guys are going to utilize. So go ahead and just make your payments on time and then go ahead and start building out your business profile. So at tier 2, the prerequisites are going to be that you guys should have at least about 5 different trade lines that are reporting to Dun & Bradstreet. And I honestly recommend for you guys to have at least $500 reporting on Dun & Bradstreet. So what I mean by that is that the invoices that you guys get should accumulate to the max one being over $500, right? So that's going to give you guys more of a chance to go in tier 2. And so also too, you guys want to make sure you're building out your Experian and also Equifax Business. So you want to have at least 3 trade lines that are each reporting to them. And you guys can be able to actually pull your business credit reports to be able to see that they get reported. These are going to be like your Amazon business cards. You're going to be able to also access Office Depot as well. So it's going to give you guys a lot higher flexibility, but these are store cards, so you can't necessarily go ahead and spend it anywhere outside of the store. And so this is going to be perfect for you guys strengthening your business credit. Now let's go ahead and go into tier 3. All right, so tier 3, the prerequisites are going to be that you guys have about 7 different trade lines reporting on your Dun& Bradstreet. You want to have at least 7 trade lines reporting on your Dun & Bradstreet, and I would say about 5 different ones are reporting on your Equifax and also your Experian business. The more that you guys have reported, the better off your business credit score is going to be and the stronger your profile is going to be. So if you guys have tier 3, this is where you start to get into the fuel cards. So fuel cards are honestly one of my favorite, right? Because of the fact that you guys can be able to get a line of credit with anybody such as WEX. So WEX is one of the top providers of fuel cards. So they actually have partnerships with a plethora of different gas stations like Shell, Exxon, 76, BP. So it just depends on the area that you're at. So I know some people have a Conical around them. Some people have more of a 76. That's like their favorite gas station around. So it just depends on exactly which one. But WEX is the underwriter, and that's the person that actually stores the cards. So WEX is a really great one in order to be able to get fuel cards. And the approval is pretty simple. All you guys have to do is just persevere and see it. As long as you guys have a good personal credit score, you'll be able to get approved. So when I first started off, Shell gave me a $7,500 limit. And so you can just be able to go ahead and purchase as much gas as you would like, especially if you guys are in transportation or you have drivers. You can be able to give them their own card, and you can be able to see exactly how much money and also what locations they actually spend gas with. That's definitely one of the better advantages, and it makes it really simple for taxes as well. And so with Fuelman, they report to Equifax and also Experian. Now with Shell, they are going to report to DMB and Equifax, and also with WEX, that's going to be the providers. So definitely go ahead and make sure you guys get those. They're super crucial and definitely help you out with your business needs. So tier number 4 is really what people want to see, right? They want to get those revolving credit cards with your Amex, your Capital Ones. So with the tier 4, the prerequisites are that you are going to want to have a $2,500 trade line reporting on your Dun & Bradstreet as the high with all of your invoices combined together, right? And so you want to have at least 7 different trade lines that are reporting on your Equifax and also your Experian business. So with the revolving card, you guys can spend them anywhere you want as long as it's for business needs, right? And so some of the best ones that I'd recommend are going to be your American Express and also your Capital One. And so here's the revolving cards. A couple of ones that I recommend are going to be your American Express Business and also your Capital One card. So Capital One does report to your personal. So if you guys don't want it to report on your personal side, I would just stick with American Express. Now, this is where you start to get into building out your EIN number, right? So when people say building out your Dun & Bradstreet versus your EIN number, the thing is a lot of different lenders, they actually use Experian and Equifax Business along with Small Business Financial Exchange to get you guys approved for loans. So when you guys start getting those revolving cards, you definitely want to make sure you're paying them on time, you don't have a default, because these are really going to establish that foundation for you guys to be able to get those higher limits of funding for lenders and also alternative lenders. So at tier 4, that's really when the fun starts. Now let's go ahead and get into tier 5. All right, so tier 5 is going to be your lines of credit and also your loan options. So with that being said, you guys want to have at least 10 different trade lines reporting on your Experian business and also your Equifax business. That way you guys can be able to get the most amount of funding possible. So with the revolving cards, a couple of great options are going to be your Chase, your Bank of America, PNC, and also KeyBank. So with PNC and also KeyBank, they do have a credit line option that does go up to $50,000 without any documentation. So you guys can definitely start applying for those and definitely get approved. So if I was going to apply right, I would just make sure to have at least a 680 credit score. That way you guys will increase your chances of getting approved and being able to get the highest limits possible. So one thing to keep in mind as far as loans, right? You want to make sure your business has been established for 2 years or older. Now, if your business doesn't meet that age criteria, so if your business doesn't meet that 2-year mark, right, I'd honestly start looking at options as far as getting an age corporation, which are corporations that don't necessarily have any type of financials, but they actually have the age that are established there. So that's definitely another option you guys can be able to seek. Let's go and get into tier 6 because we're ramping up, my boy. Let's do it. So with tier 6, we start to get into equipment financing and also vehicle financing, right? So the prerequisites for tier 6 are going to be the same just as tier 5. So you want to be able to have at least $5,000 or more reporting on your Dun & Bradstreet, about 15 different trade lines, and also about 10 different trade lines that are reporting to your Equifax and also your Experian business. So with tier 6, right, you guys can be able to get those vehicles that you guys want. A really great option I'd recommend is to go ahead and go with Bank of America. So Bank of America will will actually allow you guys to refinance your personal car into your business name. And they also do give you guys an option to give you guys 4 different business cars that will report to your business name. And the maximum for each car you guys get approved for can be up to $200,000. So you guys definitely go ahead and do the math. If you guys get approved for 4 at a time, so you guys can be able to have a good amount of purchasing power to go ahead and get the cars for your business name. So it's a great option, especially if you guys are in HVAC or any type of home service industry where you guys do need trucks. And so you guys can be able to finance that and put onto your business name. So with tier 6, you want to have a reporting of $10,000 or more as far as when you're Dun & Bradstreet. Have about 15 different trade lines that are reporting to your Dun & Bradstreet, and also have about 15 different trade lines that are reporting to your Equifax and Experian business. All right, guys, so we made it to tier 7. This is where you start getting your advanced financing as far as for corporate credit. And so then you guys can actually be able to get those SBA loans, which are backed by the government, and they give out a good amount of money. So if you guys want to start buying different businesses, and that's exactly the option I would go ahead and seek with the SBA loans. So with that being said, with tier 7, right, the prerequisites for tier 7 is you want to have at least $20,000 high reporting on your Dun & Bradstreet. You want to have about 25 different trade lines reporting on your Dun & Bradstreet, 20 different ones reporting on your Equifax and also your Experian. And so that way you guys can be able to access as much funding as possible. So if you guys have made it to tier 7, congratulations, big dog, because you guys have now made it into the big leagues. And so this is where you are able to access high limit credit cards. So if you're currently thinking about buying a business, this is going to be the time you guys can be able to do so. Those SBA loans can give you guys a good amount of limits. You guys can get approved for $500,000 to $1 million loan as long as you guys have built out your business credit profile properly. So that's pretty much it for the tiers, right, as far as how the different tiers work. So as you guys can see, there's definitely a pattern with the different tier models, right? As you guys start reporting more trade lines, start to get more active with your business credit, you guys will slowly climb up the ranks of different tiers. And so now that you guys understand the basics, you guys can be able to actually implement this. So I would always make sure to go ahead and do your research with every single vendor that you guys choose, every single lender that you guys look at, is because you want to make sure that they're reporting to your actual business credit, and you're not necessarily just going ahead and spending on vendors, and you're just spending on vendors that won't necessarily go ahead and count with your business. So there you guys have it, right? I've broken it down for you guys as far as everything from business credit, from foundational net 30 accounts, all the way to advanced corporate credit, where you guys can be able to access SBA loans. So I really hope this video was helpful, and this is going to conclude our series of business credit. And so that's going to wrap up our business credit segment, right? If you guys do like the series type of format, go ahead and make sure to comment below exactly what series I should go ahead and drop next. And if you guys can, please make sure you guys go and subscribe. Get your boy to that 10K. Try and get to 10K as soon as possible. So, and like always, I'll see you at the top, my boy. Let's get it.